Well, hello. In this video, I want to introduce a little project I worked on. It was the restoration of an instrument, as well as the design and building of a case for it. It was an electric Tacoma Papoose. So it's a solid body electric. It's little. It looks kind of like a miniature Les Paul. Has a good sound. I did some different things to it, and I'll tell that story. And then I had a case that it was in that was full size, and cut that down and recovered it and different things. So this is the case for it. It was a large full-sized rectangle electric guitar case, and on the other side what you'll see is there's a speaker fabric here, because there is a speaker. I built an amplifier into this case as well. It's not unheard of. Silvertone used to do that back in the day. I had an old Silvertone that had a case with an amplifier in it. And so this is the guitar. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I'm going to turn the case around and show you the insides. So it's got its normal little cubby hole, and a battery operated amp that has a 9-volt battery right in here, and a DOD acoustic electric foot pedal, and then this is a battery operated power supply for foot pedals, and that I'm using because I can do everything battery operated this way, and I just plugged the foot pedal into that. So we'll do that in just a little bit. We'll turn it on and see how it works. Sorry about that. Just plugging a couple things in. I was plugging the foot pedal into the amp. Before I play it, I thought I'd talk about what I did to the instrument. It's a great little instrument. Tacoma doesn't exist as a company anymore, unfortunately. But this originally was, the whole thing was this mahogany color that the neck is. And it had been customized once before by me. A friend of mine had owned it, and he wanted me to turn it into a 10-string mandola, electric mandola, which I did. And it worked, and it sounded great. And he eventually gave it back to me, and in the process, I experimented with as a mandola. Then I strung it like a Puerto Rican cuatro, which has 10 strings and had an electric cuatro, different things like that, and had a lot of fun with it. And every time we did anything to it, it sounded good. Then one day I decided to turn it back into a 6-string guitar. And what's unique about these Papooses is they have a built-in preamp, and that allows for an 1/8-inch plug right here. You can plug headphones in, and there's a 9-volt battery right in here. And when you plug the headphones in, you can hear your instrument through your headphones. So like if you're in a hotel or something and you want to play quietly, you can hear yourself playing, and it's not bothering anyone. In fact, we've done that. We've been at a hotel with my wife where we're laying in bed and she's watching TV, and I have headphones on and I'm just playing away, and it has a pull pot on the volume. You pull it out like that, you get distortion, like a crunch sound, which is kind of cool on your headphones. All anyone's hearing is the sound this makes. And that's about all they hear. They can hear the TV more than they can hear this instrument. So that's pretty neat. What I did with it, because it had 10 strings, and the bridge had been modified, the headstock had been modified, and the back had been modified. Because of that, to turn it back into a 6-string, there was a lot of work. So I had to plug the 10 headstock holes that were in it. I put a different bridge on because it was easier to just put an electric bridge on with 6 strings than to mess with the one that was retrofitted for 10. And then I had to plug all the holes in the back of it, because there were 5 of them were through body holes that came through the body and up. And so after I did that, I felt the best thing I could do was to veneer it, to hide, well, the cover up, everything I did. So I put this oak veneer on the back and the front, and on the headstock, you can see I had worked the veneer into the theme, and then put some binding on. I put white in the front, black in the back, just for kicks and giggles. And that's how it came out, and then put a fingerboard on it. Otherwise, the electronics, the tuners, the frets, everything is the same. The only difference is I took down the original nut and put a 0 fret on it, and then so that the nut that's on it now, which is made out of mahogany, is really a string spacer or a string guide. You're familiar, if you've watched any of my other videos, that I really like having a 0 fret. That's how I am. So I thought, well, I'll add one while I'm working on it. And so that's the whole picture. It's pretty cool. And so I just set the case up, something like that. We're going to try to find a way to set it up so it's not in the way. And so we'll put it over here. And if you look inside it, you see the guts are there. So there's the, of course, that's the foot pedal that's built into this now. And below, you can see, let's see here. There's the amplifier, and there's the speaker, and there's my extra power pack. And so I can turn it like this, and I can control everything in here and get my sounds. And I'm going to demonstrate this with this little 15-watt amp that's built into it, and a DOD foot pedal. It's an old foot pedal I quit using. And I'm doing it all battery pack operated. It's not going to be plugged in. And then I'll just plug, I have nothing fancy, just a super skinny cord. And the point to the super skinny cord is, well, really it fits in the instrument better. So you could pack all your gear up into this one case. The truth is, you could probably get away with throwing this in the overhead compartment on an airplane if you wanted. And I'm just going to plug it into the foot pedal, and then into the guitar. And I can't really show you how the headphones work so much. I suppose I could if I thought about it, but they work like headphones. You just plug them in, put them on your head. It's really a nice feature. And then we'll just choose an effect and a sound, and play it a little bit. And I have all the volume off right now while I turn it on, and we're going to find out together how this thing's going to work. And let's hope I did it right. Out of tune. Let me fix that. Hold on one moment. Well, we're back. We fixed that G string. I didn't figure you wanted to watch me tune my little Papoose here. So just as an illustration, I can choose a lot of different effects on that foot pedal. I've just chosen something that gives a little reverb and some delay. And then if I pull the pot, we can get some distortion. Let's see what that's like. And then you can change the tone. Some deep tones. And granted, I'll tell you, it's probably a 4-inch speaker that's in this thing with a 15-watt battery operated amp. It was an old Rogue amp. So it's nothing special. When I plug it into my larger amp, my Roland's, the sound is beautiful. It's deep, it's punchy, it's heavy. It's like a good solid electric guitar with big strings, and it's got a lot of power and oomph to it. And but you're talking about a battery operated amp. I think it sounds pretty good. And I could make the whole thing rattle like crazy, but it's a travel thing. And as I said, this instrument plugged into my larger amp sounds like any other heavy electric guitar and does a great job. And part of that is one thing I didn't tell you about that I'd done with this instrument was in the process of restoring it and customizing it. I noticed that originally the Papoose was designed to tune a perfect fourth higher than a standard guitar because of the shortness of the neck. And I got to thinking about that, and I've had a couple baritone guitars, and I usually myself tune those baritone instruments a perfect fourth lower than a regular guitar. So I got to thinking and thought, well, if that's the case, if I put electric baritone strings on this Papoose, it's designed to tune a fourth higher, and I put strings on it that normally tune a fourth lower, I should be able to tune it like a standard guitar. And that's indeed the case, that this is tuned to standard guitar tuning, even though it has a short neck, because of the size of the strings. And if you look, it's got some monsters on there. They're electric baritone strings. So that's it is a build in a way. It's more restoring and fixing up, but I did a lot of customizing and different things to it. And you can see on the headstock it says, well, what does it say? Tacoma SP1. It's a Papoose is the idea, and it says customized by Charles Adams on the top. And that's the shoot match. I think it came out really fun and nice, and it's an easy traveler. I actually did a thing where I led some worship with it for a Holy Week deal and played through a sound system. It had a lot of juice to it. And I played in a couple settings through my regular amp, and everybody's always surprised at the depth of quality of sound that comes out of it. And so it's great fun. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.